Hey, it's Patrick from JMP Cycles, and today we're going to be putting a Cobra RPT intake on our 2012 Road King here. And why would you want to put an intake on a bike? Well, other than aesthetic reasons and it looks cool, it's basically the first step to adding extra power to the bike. You're going to want to increase the airflow into the bike, and then you're going to want to increase the airflow out of the bike via a full system or mufflers. But as far as step one, we're going to go ahead and throw this intake on here. First thing we're going to need to do is take our stock intake off. Now, this install is going to be basically the same for all throttle-by-wire model baggers, so like late twin cam baggers with throttle-by-wire. So we're going to get our 8mm here, and we're going to pull the outside cover off. So after this cover comes off, there's going to be a T27, 3 T27s here, and some 7/16 breather bolts we need to pull out of here. So we'll go ahead and pull all those out, and this whole unit's going to come off. This is the crappy element that your bike is breathing through. This paper here, it's not very serviceable, and it's definitely very restrictive. The new unit's not only going to be a higher flow piece, but it's going to be serviceable. You can wash it and oil it and keep using it forever, basically. You can see this big plastic box was housing the paper filament, and then it just had this one little slot here to breathe through. So pretty restrictive out of the box, but we're going to fix that. Going to check out where your gasket surface is going to be here on the new air cleaner. Make sure there's no bits in your throttle body. This is all looking pretty good. We're going to make sure to leave this support plate on here because it's going to hold your throttle body in place with the new piece. They want you to kind of put this together like a backing plate sandwich. So I'm going to show you what to do to prep this together. So you got short Allen screws and long Allen screws. Everything has Loctite from the factory on it, so that's great. On the long ones, we're going to take our lock washers. Go ahead and slide all your lock washers on all 3 of them. Then take your breather hoses here. They have the same bends on both ends, so you don't have to worry about that. And just feed them through your backing plate, like so. So then, once you have those fed through there, we're gonna take the billet plate. And if you look at the billet plate, it has little cutouts here for the breather hoses to feed back into the backing plate. So you're gonna take those and line them up right there. You just kind of smush them on there. They'll find their way. So once we get those lined up, your holes will already be lined up for the throttle body. Our long Allens that have the lock washer on them, we're just going to drop them through all the holes. So the last piece of this little backing plate sandwich is this rubber gasket. These holes are spaced the same distance apart. It's not like the older ones where they were kind of weird. You had to line them up. These, it doesn't matter what hole goes where. So we're going to kind of put this rubber gasket on the back of here, and it's basically going to hold the screws kind of in place for us. So there we have the rubber gasket on the backing plate, and we're going to put it right on the throttle body. You start them just barely. Each screw will start no problem. I'm going to run those down and snug them up. Now we're going to put our breather bolts in. These breather bolts are aluminum and they're hollow, so they allow the heads to breathe into your breather hoses here, which essentially just feeds it back into the intake and back into the motor. So these actually don't have a size. Any wrench kind of fits on there to tighten them up because you don't need them super, super tight. I found that a 12mm fits them about perfect. They already have some thread locker on them, so we don't need to doctor them up with anything. So this bracket will kind of flex down on you a little bit. It's attached to the throttle body. So you may need to push up on that. You can kind of see it move when I push up on it to get these to thread in there easy. If it starts to thread in there hard, then you know something's not going your way, or maybe you can loosen this backing plate up to get it to go in there a little easier. So one more thing to do before we put the air filter element on, and the fun part, they give you this nice little cover here that mounts just like this, and basically it covers the servo motor here for the throttle body. So the short 2 Allens, they're also 4mm. They just go here and they put this nice little slotted cover on to cover up your electronics. now for the fun part, the filter element and this swanky cover from Cobra. Now, I will say they use really nice 12-point hardware here. If you don't have a 12-point socket, you can make it work. It's a lot nicer if you have a 12-point socket to go with a 12-point bolt. Got these nice chrome little standoffs that go with this. This is all gonna kind of have to go on here at one time. Got the Trick Power Flow K&N air filter there. Then I'm gonna do these top two kind of at the same time, and then I'll add the bottom one in a second. Again, they already have thread locker on them. We're just gonna get them started. There it is. I like to wipe this off because you definitely don't want it dirty. It can get a little warm on the motor and kind of cook the grease with your fingers on there. You can see all the filament area that's exposed here as opposed to the little slot we had from the stock one. And this is a washable, reusable kit. We sell recharge kits here at J&P Cycles that help you clean these out. A little bit of warm soapy water. You don't want to hit them with any pressurized water or air, and then just let them dry and re-oil them, and you can use them for years and years and years. And I do want to say, one question I get asked all the time is, do I need to put a fuel controller on my bike? And my answer is always basically yes. Even a stock bike will benefit from a tune from a fuel controller. Whenever you change the air curve going into the bike, you need to change the fuel curve to meet it. So if you put one of these on a bike, yes, it is a good idea to add a fuel controller if that's something within your budget. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to comment in the comment section below. You can always chat with us online. Call us on our 800 number if you have any questions. Now, go work on your motorcycle.